Ahad, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yanawa, Yahweh, Ahad. Bragatha Yahweh, Bragatha Yahweh Shai, Bragatha Yahweh, Bragatha Yahweh Shai, Bragatha Yahweh, Bragatha Yahweh Shai, Bahasam Chahakadash. I want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit went along here. Today I want to go into a topic going into discipline and how society has groomed us, all right, to be products, all right, to be consumers. And the lack of discipline is one of the mechanisms, all right, that he's instilled in us as Americans in this society, okay? So we can consume and buy. Someone once said, if it's free, it's because you're the product, okay? And you think about the school system, right? The grade school, from kindergarten to your senior in high school, you're taught a so-called education, which is not education, it's indoctrination, it's bullshit. All right, but you're taught so-called education. But you could probably remember back to when you were 5 years old watching commercials on TV. What's the purpose of a commercial on TV? It's to get you to buy, get you to purchase, get you to consume. So meanwhile, you're in school, in grade school, from the time you're in kindergarten to your senior in high school. There's a good chance you're going to go to trade school or go to college. But the whole time you're watching commercials on TV. So you're being groomed to make money, ultimately to consume. You see? Like you have this man, Carter G. Woodson, write a book called The Miseducation of the Negro, and he roughly paraphrased that while the so-called Negro is fighting to go to college and to get a so-called education, all right, the foreigners in this society is figuring out how to make money out the Negro. All right, so the whole time you're in school, from grade school to college, all right, and you're so-called learning, the whole time you're a consumer. All right, ever since you was a child, not even going into the programming on the TV shows that you watch, but just the commercials in between the TV shows, because the average TV show was about 22 minutes, but it's an 8-minute commercial break for every TV show. So ever since you was a child, you was watching 8 minutes of commercials per TV show. So how many commercials have you watched since you were a child? So you've been, and most commercials are advertising a product, showing you, going back to Revelations, why the nations, they fucking mourned when America got destroyed. They stood afar off because their cash cow got destroyed, man. This is where we go to hit a lick. This is where we go to sell our products in America. Here's the tag on the clothes that says made in China, made in Taiwan, manufactured overseas, all these different things. So the real hustle was consuming. Even when it comes to college, the hustle was you taking out this loan. And I know people who've gone to college and they complain about student debt in their 30s. But wait a minute, you was in college at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And you mean to tell me you still in debt in your 30s and 40s because some shit you did back in your 20s? You know? But millennials, I am a millennial. We was taught this shit. College was there was the mathematic formula. U plus college equals success. And some careers did require you to go to college, like being a nurse. But even that came with debt, man. $90,000 in debt. All right. So the hustle was the loan. Let me tell it. It's not about you making money, it's about them making money off you. Even when it comes to health, going back to grade school, you're in school learning your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s, but then they're feeding you crappy food at lunch. Some fucking cheese pizza, some fucking ravioli, some bullshit, processed food. when the number one cause of death in America is heart disease, which is rooted back in the standard American diet. But they're feeding you the standard American diet in school, all while you're getting your so-called education. So you're the product. They know if your ass is sick, then you're gonna be stuck on those fucking pharmaceuticals. You're the product. The product is to make your ass sick and broke. We could feed him this bullshit. You don't think they don't know they're feeding you bullshit? They can feed you this bullshit, get your ass sick and dependent on their pharmaceuticals for 20 years. So the only way you don't have high blood pressure is you take their fucking pills. You know? Only way you can make something of your life if you go to fucking college. But wait a minute, you gotta get this big ass loan. Only way you can purchase these products if you get a fucking credit card. You know? There's a way to use a credit card and there's a way to misuse a credit card. But most of us don't know how to use a credit card. So we misuse it because we think it's free money. But really it's a system to build credit. But on the flip side, you're building credit just to get back into debt. You know? You know, the scripture says the borrower is a slave to the lender. It says the borrower is a servant to the lender. And I think it's the NIV or the NLT. It says the borrower is a slave to the lender. So this whole country is built off loans, credit, debt. Because you're the fucking consumer. You're the fucking borrower. That's why I said in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high. We're the fucking product. It said he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. What is a loan? It's somebody lended you something. They lended that to you. Student loan. If college is that fucking important, excuse my language by the way, but if college is that important, why do you have to go take a loan out to go to college? If it's that fucking important. It's so important, but you got to go and get a loan to go to school. But it is so important. You know? See, one thing this society never fucking tells you is how to save money. They'll tell you about all these quick hacks to make $1 million. These quick hacks to sign up for this particular form, and now you got $20,000 in your bank account. It's PPP, this and that. All these little quick hacks, but they never tell you how to keep the money. They never tell you the importance of living within your means, and that's the underlying formula. And this is a discipline that I have to learn, you know? Because look, you can make $30,000 or $40,000 a year and be able to live within your means. But you can make $100,000 and be behind. You can make $100,000 a year and be in debt. And there are Americans who make 6 figures a year and are in debt. They're behind on their mortgage, but they make 6 figures a year. Because of what America won't tell you is how to fucking live within your means. Because the theme of America is buy, consume, consume, consume. Like the movie They Live, I think it's the movie They Live. When he put those little third eye glasses on, there was a sign that said consume. Like you were born to consume. Because like I said, you're a little one, you're a child watching Nickelodeon. You're a child watching One Saturday Morning. You're a child watching Cartoon Network. You're a child watching all these things. But you're a child watching Family Matters. But then there's commercial breaks. Why do you have commercial breaks? This country is designed for you to consume. And most of the things you consume is a fucking, this bullshit. It's a so-called better version of what you already have, or something that you don't need. They have whole networks where the whole network is them advertising a fucking ring or a fucking sponge. You know, that's the whole network. That's the whole the TV show is the commercial. You see? Hey, what the scripture says, with food and raiment, let us therefore be content. And that's how you know, just like other things like sex, consumerism is a fucking drug. That's not saying you going off if you purchase something that you want. But being a consumer is an addict. If you don't believe me, go out on Black Friday and watch them motherfuckers fight over some toy for some kid, some ungrateful kid, man. Go out on Black Friday, man, and watch a YouTube clip on Black Friday, and look at those fucking druggies. Look at those fucking druggies. People in their 30s and 40s fight over a toy or a TV. Them fucking druggies. You know? Fight over a toy. Like some 8-year-old. You know? So, like I said, even the concept of your ass getting sick off of a nutrient sufficient diet and an artery clogging diet that was meticulously engineered so you could be a consumer, and you're a drug addict because you're addicted or you're dependent on them fucking pills. You see? Point blank period, man. Point blank period. You know? To get you to consume, man. All right? But one thing they'll never push in this society, and this is what we have to push as the house of David, is discipline and contentment. That's not to say you can't upgrade your existence. If you need a better car, if you want a better car, get it if it's within your means. The whole thing is live within your means. And I've learned impulsive buying is addictive. Even, I got this fucking truck behind me. Even if, I'm saying even like get something from the store when you could cook it. That's a discipline to just cook it. You know? Sometimes you don't have time to cook, but hopefully if you ain't got the time, you got the money. But if you don't have the money, you gotta make time. But you're gonna understand it. You're gonna understand why in every couple of feet it's a store. It's a fast food joint. It's a restaurant. Even with social media, they're advertising different things. You got YouTube commercials. When they first started YouTube, there was no YouTube commercials. We first got on the internet, there was no YouTube commercials. But the reason why is because we're the product. We're the product, and they want us to consume. The product has to consume. You want to make that bitch happy? Buy her a $10,000 ring. Show her that you really care about her. You know? You want all the hot chicks? Strive to make $100,000 a year. Strive to be a multi-millionaire. But you gotta take these courses. I don't want a bunch of fake women that wouldn't fuck with me if I didn't have money. You can just pay for pussy if that's the case. You know? But there's always something that's rooted back in you consuming, man. Consume. And that's how you know most Americans are fucking junkies, man. Like I said, you're addicted to not only fast food, but the convenience of fast food. Americans are addicted to instant gratification. A Babylonian is addicted to instant gratification. You know? And the number one consumer is a woman. But we have to make sure that we're not taken by this fucking whore, that we as men of the Lord aren't so spontaneous and impulsive. And it's easy to be. It's easy to fall into the temptation of really just being impulsive, man, and you reacting to stimuli. Don't be in that state, in that spirit where you're just reacting to stimuli without really being prudent in your spending. Once again, it's something that you can easily fall into. And the scripture says a prudent man looketh well into his going, man. You know? But, you know, with that, I hope this is edifying. You know? I hope you brothers and sisters are edified. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakhakodash. I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of everything elect. Abba, Kabir, Shalom, Shalom.